Why does English sound so fast? Have you ever been watching an English movie or a TV show and thought, I thought I knew English, but what is this? Well, don't worry, you're not alone. I understand exactly how you feel. When I first moved to France many years ago, I thought I could understand French okay. But then my French host family started talking and they told me about their jobs and their family and their life, and I understood nothing. All I did was smile and nod. And then many months later, when I could finally understand them, I didn't have the courage to go back and ask them, so what's your job again? And I do not want this to happen to you. I want you to understand English the first time. And as your English teacher, I want to help you with that. So today, you're going to learn my top 5 tips to help you understand fast English conversations and speak naturally too. The side benefit to knowing these tricks for fast English conversation is that you can also improve your pronunciation and speaking skills so that when you go out into the real world, you're able to have real conversations smoothly and comfortably. How great is that? If you're new here, hi, I'm Vanessa from SpeakEnglishWithVanessa.com, and I've been teaching real-life English here on my YouTube channel for over the past 10 years to now more than 7 million of you. I can't believe it. Thank you so much for learning English with me. And every week I create a free PDF worksheet with everything you're about to learn in today's lesson. Plus, there is a bonus quiz at the bottom of the worksheet to test and see if you can really remember what you learned in today's lesson. So how can you get this free worksheet plus bonus quiz? All you need to do is click on the link in the description, enter your name and email address, and voila, it will land in your email inbox. It is my gift to you. All right, let's get started. You're going to watch a short clip from a real-life English conversation. You might understand it in general, but do you understand every single word? Can you reproduce speech just like that? Can you speak in the same way? That's the hard part, but I'm going to help you with that. After you watch this conversation clip, we're going to break down the conversation. We'll be going through it because this conversation clip uses all 5 tips to help you understand fast English conversations. Let's watch and then we'll break it down together. Let's go.
If given the choice, when we drive, you drive and I'm in the passenger seat. It's not a passive job to be in the passenger seat with kids. If you have kids, you know.
Yeah, it actually drives me insane to be in the passenger seat while she's driving. Not because she's a bad driver, but because there might be an expression that you've heard of, I'm a backseat driver. Backseat driver?
Yes.
Yeah.
Even though you're not in the backseat.
Yeah. And that just means that I'll notice things on the road and I'll have trouble not pointing it out to her.
Watch out. Look over there. Oh, he's merging. Give them some more space. I think every woman who has driven with a man has dealt with this situation before.
Yeah.
My first tip to help you understand fast English conversations is contractions. Contractions are where you take a pronoun and you add a verb and you smush them together, cut out a couple letters, and add bloop, a little apostrophe. Let's take a look at a couple examples that were in this conversation clip you just watched. I am becomes I'm. I is the pronoun, am is the verb, and we cut out a with a little apostrophe, put them together, and it becomes I'm. Much faster, right? Let's take a look at a couple more. It is, it's. She is, she's. He is, he's. You have, you've. Now our last 2 are a little bit more advanced because they have 2 different pronunciations. One is very fast, and those are the 2 that you heard in the conversation, so I want you to know them. You are becomes your. Notice how my lips are very pronounced here. Your. But you know what? In fast conversations, we often reduce it even more. Instead of saying your, we just say your. It sounds like her book, your book. It sounds almost exactly the same except for the Y at the beginning. So when you hear fast conversations, instead of hearing you are, you're going to hear a contraction, but not your. You're going to hear it reduced even more, your. This is what makes fast English conversations tricky to understand, but now you have some more tools. All right, we have one more contraction. I will becomes I'll. Now this is the very clear contraction, I'll, but we can say this also even more reduced, ul. That's right. If I'm speaking quickly, I might say, I'll go to the store. I'll go to the store. I'll go to the store. So what I want you to do is we are going to now listen to all of these contractions in the conversation, and then it's your turn to practice them. We're going to have a challenge sentence, and I want you to try to say it out loud with me. But first, let's listen. I want you to realize I'm not lying. We actually use these contractions and these reductions all the time. Let's listen.
When we drive, you drive and I'm in the passenger seat. It's not a passive job to be in the passenger seat with kids. If you have kids, you know.
Yeah, it actually drives me insane to be in the passenger seat while she's driving. There might be an expression that you've heard of, I'm a backseat driver.
Even though you're not in the back seat.
Yeah. I'll notice things on the road and I'll have trouble not pointing it out to her.
Oh, he's merging. Give them some more space.
Now it's time for our challenge sentence. I want you to speak out loud, use your own pronunciation muscles. We have practiced your listening skills. Now it's time to practice your speaking skills. So let's say this sentence together. I'm happy you're here because it's a beautiful day. We have 3 contractions. I'm, your, but we're going to practice the fast way to say this. You're here because it's a beautiful day. Let's say it 2 times together. I'm happy you're here because it's a beautiful day. I'm happy you're here because it's a beautiful day. Great work. All right, let's go to tip number 2. My second tip to help you understand fast English conversations is reductions. Now, contractions are a type of reduction, but this one is a little bit trickier because it is not written at all. It is only a spoken contraction. Take a look at these 3 words. And, just, them. Well, you probably know these words, right? But when I say this full sentence, listen to how they're reduced. You're just helping them and I'm here too. You're just helping them and I'm here too. All right, let's take a look at this sentence. The second word, you're just. We cut out the T in the word just all the time. And this is going to make English sound pretty fast because there's just whole sounds being thrown out, especially for these common words. You're just helping them. So the word them in fast conversation often drops the TH and we just say You're just helping them, You're just helping them, and I'm here too. We have the word and that has the D completely taken off. So it's gonna sound like and I'm here too, and I'm here too. Listen to that full sentence again, and now you know about these reductions, so I think you'll be able to understand it a little bit better, and then I'm gonna ask you to say it with me in just a minute. You're just helping them, and I'm here too. Don't forget that contraction at the beginning. You're just helping them, and I'm here too. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to practice saying this all together, and then you're going to watch a little clip from the conversation. We're doing it a little bit backwards this time, and I want you to practice it out loud, and then your ears will be ready to hear it in the conversation. Are you ready? Say it with me. Don't forget the contraction at the beginning and the 3 reductions. You're just helping them, and I'm here too. You're just helping them, and I'm here too. Great work. Okay, let's listen to these 3 words in the conversation and you will see exactly how they are reduced. Let's watch.
You drive and I'm in the passenger seat.
And that just means that,
Oh, he's merging. Give them some more space.
My third tip to help you understand fast English conversations is the stopped T. What is this? This is a common thing that happens in American English spoken conversations. Let's take a look at a couple words and I'll explain what this means. In the conversation I had with Dan, we used all of these words. What do these words have in common? They all end in T, and they have something else in common that I haven't shown you yet. After each of these words, there was a word that started with a consonant. A consonant is any letter that is not a vowel, A-E-I-O-U, any other letter. So look at the first example. We have the word seat that was followed by the word while. Then we have the word not that was followed by the word pointing. Well, when we have this exact combination, a T that has a consonant next, do you know what happens? You might know because of the name of this third tip. It is going to be stopped. Listen carefully when I say this. Seat while, not pointing, not pointing. I am making the T shape with my mouth. My tongue is at the top of my mouth, but I'm not letting that puff of air come out. It is stopped in my mouth. So when we say seat while, seat, my tongue is at the top of my mouth. And when we cut out T's like this at the end of words, it can really make English sound super fast because what is seat while? Seat while. It's not seat while. Your ears as an English learner are expecting to hear more of the letters, but now you're kind of getting to see that we often cut up words and cut out sounds. So I want to go through all of the instances that this was used in the conversation clip, and then we're going to practice it together. Might be, dealt with, watch out, look over there. So here we have two separate sentences, but it still applies. I want you to practice saying each of these with me. This is getting a little bit trickier here, but you can do it. Let's practice. Seat while, not pointing, might be, dealt with, watch out, look over there. Great work. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to listen to this in the conversation. It's very fast, but I want you to listen carefully for it, and then we'll come back and practice our challenge sentence together. Let's watch.
Yeah, it actually drives me insane to be in the passenger seat while she's driving, and I'll have trouble not pointing it out to her. There might be an expression that you've heard of.
I think every woman who has driven with a man has dealt with this situation before.
Yeah.
Watch out, look over there.
All right, now it's time to practice a challenge sentence. Our sentence is, we've dealt with problems and it might just be life. We're starting with a contraction. Don't forget those. We've dealt with. Here we have our stopped T sound, dealt with. Make sure your tongue is at the top of your mouth. We're not cutting out the T completely. We just need to stop the T sound. We've dealt with problems. Great. And then the next part of the sentence, don't forget we have those reduced words, and just. And it might just be life. So don't forget and just. But what's happening here? Might be. That is going to be our stopped T sound. Might be life. Might just be life. All right, let's say this full sentence all together. We're going to say it twice, and I want you to try to say it out loud. Practice your pronunciation as well as your listening. We've dealt with problems, and it might just be life. We've dealt with problems, and it might just be life. Great work. My fourth tip to help you understand fast English conversations is another very American English sound, and that is when T's change to D's. Listen to this phrase. Water bottle. Water bottle. The T in water actually sounds like a D in American English. And the T's in bottle also sound like a D. This is extremely common, and you're gonna find this all over the place, even between words. This showed up twice in the conversation, so we're going to practice those 2 instances, then we'll listen to them, and then you will have a challenge sentence. Can you do it? Of course you can. Let's take a look at these 2 words. Notice, nada. Notice. Do you see there's a T, but your ears, do they hear a T? Notice. Nope. It sounds like a D. And why is that? The rule is that if there is a T surrounded by vowel sounds, that T in American English is going to become a D sound. Notice. Notice. Now, this also applies when there are 2 words. So take a look at this. Not a. Well, this is 2 separate words, right? But the T is still surrounded by vowel sounds. So what's going to happen to that T? It's going to become a D sound. Nada, nada, nada. So we already talked about the word not when it is stopped at the end if there's a consonant next, but here there is a vowel next. So it's going to change into a D. Let's take a look at these 2 instances in the conversation, and then we'll practice our challenge sentence together. The challenge sentences are building. They're getting a little more complicated, so get ready. Let's watch.
It's not a passive job to be in the passenger seat with kids.
I'll notice things on the road and I'll have trouble not pointing it out to her.
All right, our challenge sentence is a little bit of a lie for me because I am a teacher. Let's take a look. I'm not a teacher, and I might not notice some. So here at the beginning, we have I'm, our contraction. I'm nada. This is the phrase we talked about. That T is going to change to a D. I'm not a teacher. And, don't forget that reduced word, and I might not, that's our stopped T, might not notice, that is the T changing to a D, notice some. We can cut off the TH because it is a reduced word as well. Do you see how this is making English seem faster and faster the more that you learn these tips and tricks? Let's try to say this sentence together twice. I'm going to say it relatively slowly first because it's getting a bit more challenging, and then we'll say it a little bit faster together. Speak out loud with me. Are you ready? I'm not a teacher, and I might not notice them. I'm not a teacher, and I might not notice them. Great work. All right, my 5th and final tip to help you understand fast English conversations is to grow your vocabulary. I've had so many students tell me that as they are practicing their listening skills, they are coming upon so many new words that even if they could understand the words, they don't know what they mean. So I want you to grow your vocabulary right now. We're going to take a look at 3 different phrases that might be new to you, and I want you to be able to use them and be able to understand them as well. The first one is drives me insane. Dan said, yeah, it drives me insane to be in the passenger seat while she's driving. And here he's talking about just going crazy. You could say, yeah, I go crazy when I'm in the passenger seat, but it is more common to say it drives me insane. There are some variations of this phrase, like it drives me bonkers, or it drives me up the wall. And these all mean the same thing. It makes me feel crazy when I'm in the passenger seat. I want to know what drives you insane. What drives you up the wall? Our second vocabulary phrase that will help you to understand fast English conversations, especially if it is a new word for you, is a backseat driver. Now, the trick of this expression is that you are not in the back seat. Usually this means you are in the passenger seat and you are giving lots of unwanted tips about driving to the driver. Nobody likes a backseat driver. But if you have ever been driving and the person beside you is just giving you lots of tips, oh, watch out, he's merging. Oh, it looks like they're slowing down, slow down. You can say, stop being a backseat driver. It doesn't mean they're in the backseat, but it just means they're giving too many unwanted tips. And the third great vocabulary phrase that you need to know to understand this conversation is a phrasal verb to point out. But we often insert it in this phrase. Point it out. Point it out. So in the conversation, Dan said, I have trouble not pointing it out to her. If there's something going on the road, he can't stop himself. He has to point it out. Now, he could have used a more simple expression and just said, I have trouble not telling her, but you want to be able to use real English that real English speakers use in the real world, right? And this phrasal verb is one of them. So when you can understand, point it out, you can use it as well. So let's take a quick look at how all three of these expressions were used in the conversation, and then we'll come back for a challenge sentence. Your final challenge sentence. Are you ready? Let's watch.
Yeah, it actually drives me insane to be in the passenger seat while she's driving. There might be an expression that you've heard of, I'm a backseat driver. I'll notice things on the road and I'll have trouble not pointing it out to her.
Okay, our final challenge sentence is this. He's just a backseat driver and it drives me insane. But if you notice a problem, point it out now, not later. Okay, so we've got a lot going on here. At the beginning, we have our contraction, he's, then the reduction, just, and then our vocabulary phrase, a backseat driver. And then we have another reduction, and it drives me insane. Let's practice saying the beginning of this sentence together. Speak out loud and try to say it with me. He's just a backseat driver and it drives me insane. Great work. Now let's get to the next part. But if you notice, we have the T changing to a D, notice a problem, point it out now, not later. We have our great phrase, point it out. And then we have a stopped T, not. Make sure your tongue is at the top of your mouth. And what about that final word? We haven't specifically pointed out that word, but it has a key concept we just talked about. Later. It's that T changing to a D. You can do it. So let's say the second half of the sentence together. But if you notice a problem, point it out now, not later. Okay, let's put it all together. We're going to say this full sentence, and I want you to speak out loud exactly with my voice. Are you ready? Let's do it. He's just a backseat driver, and it drives me insane. But if you notice a problem, point it out now, not later. Great work. Well, congratulations on learning these 5 tips to help you understand fast English conversations. If you enjoyed this lesson and you realize that your listening skills need to improve a lot, I would like to invite you to join me in the 150-day listening challenge, where you will join me for the next 5 months to practice growing your listening skills so that you can really understand movies, TV shows, and real-life conversations with no problem. In this course, you will be listening to over 50 native English speakers who have different styles of speaking, different vocabularies, different ways of speaking so that you're prepared for whoever you meet. Plus, you'll learn over 450 new vocabulary words. As we talked about today, growing your vocabulary is an essential piece of understanding fast English conversation. That is 3 new words every day to help your brain grow step by step and finally understand everything that you hear. Usually the 150-day listening challenge is $500. That's $100 each month. But right now we are having a special discount, a 60% off discount, where you can join the entire 150-day listening challenge for $199. $99. But this is just a limited time. So if you would like to continue to improve your listening skills, click on the link in the description to see if this discount is still available. I would love to help you be able to go out into the real world with confidence and have any conversation you want with confidence. Well, thank you so much for learning English with me. Don't forget to download today's free PDF worksheet with all 5 of these listening tips, plus the quiz at the bottom of the worksheet to see if you can really understand them. You can just click on the link in the description, enter your name and email address, and voila, it will land in your email inbox. Well, thank you so much for learning English with me, and I'll see you again next Friday for a new lesson here on my YouTube channel. Bye! But wait, do you want more? I recommend watching this video next, where you will be able to test your listening skills by listening to another native English speaker who's talking about something that makes a lot of people afraid: public speaking. Let's go to that lesson to help you be able to level up your listening skills. I'll see you there.